It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
I am curious to hear how this one goes. Here's our third controversial money topic hot take. Real estate should not be your first investment.
Well, I mean, think about it, because I've told you at least twice on this show, go check out our Instagram, go check out our TikTok, because we're doing some incredible things there. And I almost hesitate when you tell people to go to these platforms, because if they're not pushing whole life insurance, something with cash value, because they'll tell you how great it is to invest in life insurance instead of just normal investments. The second thing that you'll see everybody in the world talk about is real estate. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I think we need to share the disclaimer. We love real estate too.
We love it. We are real estate investors.
We are, was it 8-figure real estate investors, yep. Commercial buildings, and I've done residential, I've done beach property, I've done it all. So I feel like we're coming from a place of being very transparent with you, but this is not where you start. And I think we need to give you the perspective so you don't get caught, because I love it when I get to say it, swimming naked, because that's what real estate can be very dangerous.
So I was trying to think about a way we could make this make sense, how we could lay this out. And so this is the example I came up with. Brian had a wonderful time making fun of me for it. And so we're going to let you in on the secret so you can make fun of me too.
Just so everybody knows, as you're going through this example, I had a Robbie Knievel, which is Evel Knievel's son example, but this is what we went with. So go ahead, Bo.
All right, so here's the deal. I enjoy working out. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I really like to do that. And in this season of life that I'm in, my workout of choice is CrossFit. It's what I like to do. Well, those of you who aren't familiar with CrossFit or don't know what that is, there are like some complex movements in there. Here are some pictures. Yeah. You know, there are things where you lift very heavy weight over your head and you do unique movements and you're on rings and you have to muscle your way up there. There's a lot of very advanced, very complex movements.
Can I make an editorial comment?
Yep, sure can.
Because I will tell you, this stuff is hard. I mean, there's a reason I don't do CrossFit, because that what they're doing, you probably know who that is in the picture.
Yeah, I know both of them. Yep.
So who's that in the left?
I think that's Nick Urenker.
Okay, so here's the thing. His knees, that makes my knees hurt just seeing that Olympic lift where you're holding the weights and to get down that low. There's just a lot of things. And then she's doing what's called a muscle up. You know, it's good that I know the terminology here, but I don't know how to do it. That's hard.
It's hard.
Because those rings, they move, and I guess I just don't have the muscles but she's making it look easy. And Bo, let's go ahead and give you a compliment. You can do both of these things, can't you?
But that's not the point here. Here's the point.
No, it is the point, though, because you didn't do this from day one. You did this after you got background and foundation. Exactly right. So keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's right. If you're someone who's just starting out on your fitness journey, you just want to start dipping your toe into the water, to getting in better shape, to making better health decisions, you probably don't want to start with some of these advanced, heavy movements. And the odds are, if you do, and you don't know what you're doing, and you approach and attack it too soon, there's a chance you can really hurt yourself. And you're not just going to hurt yourself today, there's a chance you can hurt yourself over the long term. Well, your financial life, the way that you approach investing dollars is no different. We would argue that real estate, as it relates to your financial journey, is an advanced thing. It is further along in the financial journey than your first step. And if you get into it and you do it poorly or you do it wrong, or maybe it's not even your fault, something happens outside of your control, it can have a huge negative impact on your long-term ability to continue to build wealth.
Yeah, I mean, because let's talk about the benefits of it and why they have a catch to them. Is that, I mean, you get depreciation, which I've shared it earlier, is something you get to lower your income taxes with, but it doesn't actually have a cash flow issue to you. I mean, with doing cost segregation studies and all these other advanced strategies can really do a great job of you getting back even the money that went into the initial investment. They also are lower tax rates. Long-term capital gains rates are much better. You can do 1031 exchanges. I mean, this stuff is all super exciting. And on top of that, you get leverage growth, meaning you put down just a little bit, but you're taking out a lot of debt. But if this thing's appreciating, there's a chance that you're getting exponential growth. What could go wrong with this? And that's the part that I just wanted to share, is that yes, there's some super exciting things about real estate, and there are some huge tax advantages of doing real estate. But here is the problem. Real estate, because it is higher risk with the leveraged debt, is something that you better have deep pockets. And that's why I've shared this before, there's a CPA, I love following his social media stuff, and I hope you'll go check out our stuff too, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, because we're doing some really cool content on there. But he had this whole thing of real estate versus your 401k. And it made me mad because he was talking about all the depreciation, the capital gains rates, the cost segregation studies. And I was like, no, this is wrong because it's not an either or. It better be both, because if you do this right, and we'll get into a greater detail on this, you're going to have both, because you're not doing the real estate, especially commercial real estate, until you're already deep enough in the foundation in your wealth building process that you can weather any bad storm, whether it's, because remember, extroverts, volatility of the financial markets, volatility of the real estate market, unemployment, market cycles going down. All this happens at the same time. It's not like real estate, you pull it out of the hat and it's every 2 year, it's only twice every decade you're going to have a real estate. No, they all happen together. You do not want something outside of your control just because you got too far out on the risk spectrum, deeper than your pockets, and it breaks you overall.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times we'll see someone who say, because everyone wants to believe in the real estate brochure, all those benefits that you laid out. And it sounds so easy. I'm just going to go buy a piece of property, and then I'm going to put a renter in there, and the renter is going to cover the cost of the property. It's not going to be any cash outflow for me. Maybe it'll be some cash inflow for me, and then I will capitalize on all the capital appreciation. And if every single real estate transaction worked that way, and every economic cycle was a strong one, and every market was a bull market, then that would probably be great. But what doesn't work is when you have some vacancies, or maybe the roof needs to be replaced and you don't have the capital to do that, or maybe something happens in the economy where you need to get rid of this property and it's lost a lot of value because we're in a recession. Fill in the blank on the negative things that can happen. If you are not at the right place in your financial journey to be able to weather that storm, it can have devastating effects, and we have seen this firsthand time and time and time again with people that we know.
Yeah, after the Great Recession, I was still doing tax preparation back then. I had a client, I thought this client was so rich because on paper he was loaded.
Big money.
He was living in Buckhead. He had one of the fancy addresses. He had 30 to 40 rental houses that he was doing, and then the music stopped with the Great Recession. And I watched, because realize it's not only that you quit getting the rent, it's that you start getting higher turnover on your tenants, and they're changing. Y'all have heard me make this joke. They're changing car engines in the living room.
Yep.
They're ripping out cabinet doors. They're poking holes in your sheetrock. They're stealing your fixtures. They're stealing your appliances, and they're doing this in a quick succession all at once. And then you're like, it can break you.
Yep.
So that's why you better have the deep pockets. We love real estate, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, the answer is, and I'm holding it up, and we've got it on the slide too, the financial order of operations. Real estate falls as step 8. We love real estate. Take advantage of all the opportunities, but build that solid financial foundation that comes from steps 1 through 7 of the financial order of operations. So go to moneyguy.com/resources. You can also download this free deliverable to look at. If you want to accelerate your success and your wealth building and your financial independence, I want you to go to learn.moneyguy.com, because we actually have a net worth tool as well as a deep course on this financial order of operations, and it will keep your financial life out of the ditch.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting, Brian. The world wants to tell us what we should do with our money, and it wants to give us all these ideas about how we should consume and how we should invest. Be careful who you're letting into your head. Make sure that you actually vet the ideas that you are allowing to inform the decisions that you're making. That's one of the reasons that we're here. We want to be that voice of reason that helps you make wise financial decisions. We're going to keep loading you up. We're going to keep doing the show. We're going to keep answering your questions. We are going to keep trying to sift through the noise of the financial world, even when our takes are hot and even when they might be controversial, so that you can take your finances to the next level.